Hi.
Welcome to Way of the Pony.
Welcome to Gaston.
Who wants to do the recap today?
DDS wants to do the recap.
Sure does.
Alright, if he wants to.
He has been pestering me all week to do the recap. Couldn't shut him up.
You actually wrote me that earlier.
Yeah,
so
it's
yeah.
like, I was like, oh, if he only would shut up for a second about the recap.
Goddamn recap.
Oh,
Alright, Doc. Well, you know, tell it as it was.
So last time, if I remember what happened, the snake lady returned to the Horn with a bunch of people. Or subsequently, we murdered pretty much all of those people, which happened to be ex-enemies of ours, or enemies that escaped, or both, depending on the situation. So that happened. We also... Did we kill the snake lady? No, the snake lady didn't get killed. We didn't kill her.
She just left.
But yes, so we also did a ritual. So we had fun summoning Vitriculi and that was kind of scary. We got the Tears of Atlas. We got our boon of immunity to disease. We didn't get murdered and we ran away at top speed. As we pretty much plagued the entire side. All the far holders basically now dead with disease. Then we jumped from the boat and left with our minions aboard the boat, except Karen forgot the kobolds.
You didn't forget them. They can survive on their own, I'm sure. And if they can't, then well, too bad.
And yes, we summoned Theodora.
yes,
And she gave us the money and a new mission.
she did.
Which our new mission is basically to take down one of the main Mithran churches.
Yeah, we got to kill off the Veil of Varthanus.
And we were gonna kill another Havelin, but he got saved by
yeah.
mysterious
Oh, yeah, that's-
powers.
I didn't
Yeah,
mention, but
exactly.
also another adventuring party arrived. All of it seemed to be related to people we previously murdered from what was that place called?
Oh, it's
Valentine.
so many now. We can't really keep count of all the places we murdered and
Valentine.
killed.
But yes, they're people from Bellatine which we murdered, which one got suffocated. I can't remember. One of them was an angel, which I dread bolted in the face and Marcus smited. There's some other fun things happened.
Right.
The Havelin
And we are called
got
blinded.
shot with a bolt of lightning and just disappeared. We have theories of where Mr. Havelin went.
Oh yes.
But we're not allowed to discuss that in the open, so that will end it.
I think Chloe is much more cute now.
Oh yes, final note. Halfies is on the boat with all of everyone's minions, so people might have a fun time on there.
It's gonna be a party.
He's already
Oh,
shutting
yes.
up the ladies.
It's gonna be a party.
He was chatting up ladies before we left. He was already after Pandora.
It's gonna be like when you go to those places with all those young people and they're in bikinis and dancing on boats.
Aha, spring break.
Somewhere in USA. Florida, I bet it's Florida.
Always Florida.
I bet that's where they do it.
Yeah, you would know.
Alphys is making a detour to Florida to have a
Oh, that'd be
spring
great! Halthus on the beach! I would love to see Halthus on the beach.
Send us a magical postcard.
He will.
Halthus on the... My
Just
lord!
cry him and he's just lying there on the beach naked.
My lord, there be bitches everywhere! Signed
be crazy.
Halthus.
You would know that he's very pale. He's not been outside so long.
Yeah, he needs to work on that. You know,
Yeah.
beach.
Working on his tan.
Yeah, beach 2014. Get
Well,
those.
Well,
he's
there
on a
is
boat now, so he can.
with a lot of women. They could go to a beach party.
Yeah, he needs to get ripped. Although he is pretty
It's
strong.
almost winter, like in 1 month or something. Couple of months. It's winter.
Well, they better hurry.
What month are we in, by the way?
You know, I'm actually not entirely sure. I can find out for you. I should be able to find
It's kind of important.
It is kind of
have
important,
it
yeah.
somewhere here.
Because we have a
I'll
month.
find a calendar so I can actually translate whatever he says.
Yeah, we have a month off. Then we need to get back to work, and then we need to gather allies before the strike, which was in winter, I think. Or did
Before
we say?
winter.
Before winter.
Before
Oh,
winter.
we
It's
need
army
to brace
stuff.
ourselves because winter's coming.
They better brace themselves because we are coming with winter.
Yeah.
By winter, do you mean you've got your IT prison ready?
Mini winter.
And the next time you get the teleport spell where you can freeze someone in a block of ice.
There we go. All right.
Oi, Gav.
You would be in about the end of September.
That's
So,
not
Rover.
much time.
That's not super much time.
No.
When does winter hit for real? Is it like mid-November or something?
I mean, Talingard is not, especially this far south.
Yeah.
It's not like bad. Winter usually comes a bit late in the years down here by sort of south of the mountains. So you should probably be done around like December.
December. Okay, that's good.
According to the Pathfinder
You should probably
calendar,
be there then, right?
Right.
Deal with stuff.
December is the official winter of the,
Like, that's where stuff begins that you should not, like, if you're not ready by then, it might be too late.
Let's just sit down and craft for 3 months.
Let's make it 5 just to make sure.
It just give you a window of time.
All right, 2 months basically, give or
I
take.
don't know. I mean, you can always, you can take a month off. That's basically what you've been given.
Yep.
Thorn thinks you can do it in 1 month, but if you want to start early.
So the session ended also by basically Zacharias teleporting the party to Gaston Hall.
Just outside of Gaston Hall, so.
Yep, outside of Gaston Hall.
Right in front of it.
Plunk you
Patrol.
here as you appear.
The cornfield.
But he wanted to stay outside.
Yep.
So you appear sort of standing in what seems to be a large sort of field. Not really anything on it right now.
Can we work out what was planted here?
And
Is that really important?
you can sort of see, the city a bit of distance away. That's, a couple of miles, I guess.
Does Zacharias recognize the city as Gaston Hall?
Well, I mean, he's not sure, but he can certainly see that there's I mean, it's probably not that wrong in where it is.
Are there any people around who might have seen us?
Not right here, no. I think that's also the idea in doing it sort of outside.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Right, where people
Never know.
jumping in by teleportation.
There happened to be a farmer right where we're standing.
You know that the field at this time of year would be kind of deserted. I mean, they pick up stones sometimes, but beyond that, there's not really much point in being out there. If you're anywhere, it's taking care of your livestock and such.
Very well. Zacharias will look around, nod to himself, basically, yes, of course I did it. Correct, yes, quite. And then he will look at the party and say, very well then, shall we enter the city?
Marcus.
I assume we need disguises.
Zacharias looks at himself, shrugs. I don't see why, but looking over to Cash and perhaps Marcus.
Well, Cash is always changed into what looks like a
Yes,
normal,
yes.
a normal elf.
Just hide whatever symbols you might have that might betray us. And it should
Yeah,
be
is there-
fine. The city is large, a metropolis as it were, and quite liberal. All sorts come here.
So aren't there a lot of inquisitors?
They are, but they hold no
Jurisdiction.
Jurisdiction.
but
I just pronounced it
jurisdictional
Juris-
power?
Uh-huh.
Oh well, they hold little jurisdictional power. Most of it go through the Duke, I do believe. They wouldn't arrest people randomly on the streets.
It may be a decent idea though for me to disguise our intentions from any detection spells. they might have.
I agree.
Marcus, I believe you can do this now, correct?
Yes, but only on myself.
That is fine. It's just a little bit less work I need to do.
Well, Cash would just have changed her hair color and her skin color. She looks like a normal high elf.
Zacharias will look at Cash and say, "Ah, Lady Cash, you look so much more fetching in your normal form." And then
Jesus Christ.
he will sweep past her.
And before you finish getting away, undetectable alignment.
She smiles.
Undetectable alignment for you.
Thank
I guess
you.
I'll give one to Chiron, then myself.
Zacharias will start walking down the farmer road here, and first thing he will peer is this lone building up the hill here. Can you see what this is when approaching?
That building?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's what looks to be an old manor house. It seems very sort of lonely on the hill. Nothing's really built close to it. It seems to not really be in that good of a shape.
Does it have any like symbols or anything on it? Any heraldry?
Not flying any banner or anything like that. Looks like an old house.
Whatever. Let's see. We're going to the Zacharias will actually turn around and talk to the party. The mission is then to contact this Mithran priest in the library of Gaston. Do we go there directly, or do you want to look around town first?
I don't see any reason to linger too much before meeting our contact. He might have some place for us to stay, which we will definitely need.
I definitely agree with that. Also, we are carrying something quite dangerous with us.
So admittedly, not technically in this dimension at the second. Being inside the bag of holding and all.
Details.
Cash has a little black dragon on her shoulder.
We would not want to have that bag seized or dropped or opened up or anything. That would be unfortunate.
If that lead box gets into anyone's hands, we have a problem.
Yes. Zacharias looks at the city. We don't really know what's going on in Gaston Hall these days. How the war has been received, for instance. There might be a curfew. There might be extra security measures in place. Well, that is why I'm thinking maybe gathering some information before we approach our contact. Where is the library, by the way, Malachi? What quarter?
The library is in the priest's quarter, where it is dressed in black mainly. Zacharias, having been here before, would know that all scholars really tend to dress in black, while all priests tend to dress in blue. A saying in Gaston Hall is that blue beats black whenever there's a discussion.
Zacharias will, remembering this, will grind his teeth a bit and mumble about sanctimonious priests and holier than thou. Bah! What do they know about anything?
Part of me's like, should Azurius disguise as the priest?
Certainly could. I mean, Zacharias' clothes are already kind of black purple-ish.
It's fine anyway, because you can just disguise. You have disguise anyway.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything with my clothes really. They are like his like coat and like shirt and pants and stuff are already black/purple, so I'm not really going to do anything about it.
I mean, Azurius has a lot of like hell symbols on his, so he's disguised himself.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea to remove.
Yeah,
like my holy symbol is
fine.
fine. My holy symbol's not Asmodeus, but like
What?
all the rest of my stuff.
I mean, if nothing else, you can always just disguise your clothes.
Would a shadow drake be a problem since it's evil
It's
in the city?
probably.
Sure.
well, it's a familiar. Would it both it and her be disguised by undetectable alignment?
It's part of her, so I would
yes.
guess.
Yes.
Well, Cash looks at the others. Do you think Chloe would be a problem since she's a shadow drake?
As long as she hides, it'll be fine.
But she will be sitting on Cash's shoulder.
Perhaps,
Hide under a cloak.
yes, perhaps hide her under your cloak, Lady Cash.
Cash just smiles and puts out her arm, and Chloe just morphs into her arm. Okay, can you hide the...
I imagine you can sort of see her crawling under the skin to
Yeah.
where she's supposed to be.
Problem solved.
There's
Excellent.
trying to pull out one of the holy symbols which I couldn't burn because they were made of silver instead of made of wood.
Oh yeah, I'll want to carry one of those as well if you have another.
Well, the point is you can always disguise your one.
So,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Actually, yeah,
Okay.
I'll just use my holy one disguise.
tell
That's fine.
me about wrong side district here.
Wrong side is basically it is an old farming community, as many of the outside areas of Gaston Hall. Gaston Hall had a period of very rapid growth, where many of these were sort of consumed by the city, if you will. Wrong side is basically the place that lies the furthest from anything interesting. It is the place where if you want to live in Gaston Hall but don't have money to live in Gaston Hall, you live in wrong side.
Okay.
Generally,
the slums,
it is-
basically.
it is simply just cold wrong side. It was once again a farming community, and it's where the people who don't have money to live anywhere else live. not really a slum as such. Gaston Hall doesn't really have, as far as Zacharias knows, many slums, as it is quite the wealthy city. It is just where cheap housing is because it is some distance away from attractive areas.
Right.
The houses there are still quite spacious, and most of them are old sort of I call that like country homes, if you will, rather large and
Okay.
refurnished stables and such.
And the Red Quarter, I assume I know what that is, but you might as well tell me.
Having been in Gaston Hall before, you will not probably have visited Red Quarter much. It is known as the bad part of town, and not a day goes by without the Cardinal of Gaston Hall and the priests urging the Duke to take care of it. And remove it and remove this cesspool of debauchery and such. If there is a sin, the Red Quarter is known to go and indulge in it.
Excellent.
And, there are many who have different ideas, but right now the Duke is an eccentric. Maybe that's why nothing has been done. It is sort of told by people that perhaps that's the reason, but when sea folk come towards Talengard, an island laying quite out far in the sea, actually, after maybe a month or two sailing, Mithranen is not really the city you want to. Matherin is not really the city you want to go to, Talengard's capital. There you will find priests and a good sermon, while here you will find entirely other things. So many ships actually sail past the capital, all the way through the Cambrian Bay, just to get to Gaston Hall. That's the place where they want to get in.
Yep. Zacharias, as they walk towards the city, Zacharias will of course tell the others all of this in his sort of lecture voice. So you see, he will, say, well, if there is anywhere that there are sins to be had, or I think gossip to be picked up, Red Quarter would be the place. If you want to know what is going on in a city, you ask the cab drivers, or you ask the prostitutes.
They would clearly know much.
So what do you think? Should we...
Learning more, I mean, you already clearly know quite a bit about our locale, but getting some up-to-date information may not be the worst idea.
Oh,
goodness.
Sorry, that was my headset.
Zacharias will nod.
No offense to you, Zacharias, but I doubt you have indulged in the local bars here recently.
Zacharias nod. No, it was some time ago.
I mean,
I was young back then. He sort of, drifts away.
We've been together. I think we've been together for at least what would this be? A year and a half now.
Year and a half, 2 years maybe.
Yeah.
Way too long.
Coward mumbles.
Silence!
Alright, well, Zacharias will lead the troop into the Red Quarter.
All right. As you go in here, you sort of see you see happy people, even on a weekday such as this. There are always people here, and even in the outskirts, sort of you see the stores and a lot of sort of small, narrow entryways and windows barred and such. Clearly, this place might be more alive at night or further into the quarter. I see Longshot Lane going through.
Right. Well, Zacharias will lead the troop to Longshot Lane then. See if you can...
That is the main road, and you can sort of see that there's the common and less common variety of working women and such lined up. Some street peddlers and such. Some of them, you see one with a little table selling knives. The table is such a way that he can easily pick it up and walk with it, looking very conspicuous. They're apparently folding knives.
Excellent.
Hide easily. Such.
Zacharias seems to sort of nod to himself, like appreciative of this place. And then look at the party. Well, we can spend a few hours asking around for the latest news of the town. And yes, perhaps that is the best course of action for now. I suggest we do just that then. Looking about. Now, don't get into any trouble. looking at the others. We don't want to draw the undue attention of the law or anything upon us.
I'm most worried about Kyron getting into a bar fight.
Zacharias,
Aaron frowns at this accusation.
maybe he can find a dwarf to play cards against.
Oh, don't remind me.
That would be a great thing.
Zacharias knows that Gaston Hall has quite the amount of dwarves, actually.
Ah, he
It
will,
is an integrated part of the culture.
he will gleefully inform Karen of this fact. Zacharias, when we come to sort of this crossing here at Longshot Lane, he will look around and say, "Very well, I suggest a few hours of asking around. We reconvene here in the crossing."
Very well. Nazurius just wisps around the corner.
Yeah, Zacharias, throws his cloak all dramatically as he walks into a side street.
So like, is Zacharias that way, me that way?
You can sort of put your tokens in the place where you go.
Kyron will go straight for the closest tavern and
Sure.
eat stuff. Lots of stuff.
Enters the tavern, and what the first thing he sees is that everyone seems to be drinking what seems to be blood in here. Let's sort of look at him.
Delicious.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I enter the wrong tavern?
Well, he won't really mind people looking at him and will go straight up to the barkeeper and say, "Bring me whatever meal you have that is edible, I guess."
It says salt pork and blood rum. Then
Yes, sounds great.
takes it out. And
Been on a ship for far too long.
as most here have. He begins filling Chiron with whatever this he has. If Chiron, when he eats here, he will find actually that the food here is the spiciest food he's ever had. It
great.
feels sort of like breathing fire when he eats it.
Perfect.
I know exactly how that feels.
Only other things. Yeah.
You mean
It's
kind of
it's
expert.
if it would make a lesser man bend over and scream for his mother. The rum is also quite strong and have a very alcoholic taste, and it is blood red and sort of thick almost.
It's certainly something that Kyron wouldn't mind having.
Asorius, walking down the main street down towards the harbor, sees what seems to be small docks, probably a few fishing boats. None of them seem in really good repair. There are a few shady-looking people sort of mumbling and looking at him, pulling away in a group when they see him. Yeah. Marcus, going up that way, would begin to go out in the sort of the red quarter is sort of thinner towards the top, and he sort of nears and gets out in the less the weirdest sort of working women stop giving him a wink and such, like for example the halfling prostitute stops following him, and here there's
my
just
secret
really
desires.
normal human women are the ones to give him a look. Cash, on the other hand, walking into this part of town, finds herself followed by a couple of what seems to be big, brawny thugs, slowly walking towards her. If she wasn't as skilled at spotting people as she is, she probably wouldn't have noticed them as they slowly gather out, seemingly just waiting for an opportunity to trap her alone.
Excellent.
Don't remember what I said now.
Who's trapping who now?
Mm-hmm. I'm like a
Did you know I
spider in
can
a web.
psych myself?
Zacharias, walking down this way, you also find that there is quite the few shops of merchandise or cutlery, furniture, other things that apparently is a used sales shops fill this place.
Zacharias
And
will...
things such as no questions asked,
mhm.
such fill the windows.
Zacharias will, pour through many of the windows. He will talk with the shopkeepers quite pleasantly. And he will drop questions. Basically, he will say that, yes, he has just arrived in town, been away for far too long, really. And now he's finally, walking around seeing the sights. So what news, etc., can they tell them? Can they tell him of town? Basically, trying to get some information.
Seem to placate him a lot, telling him how good he is and how wonderful he is and how fine his hair is, and that this brooch would really suit him well. And they actually seemingly does not want to talk about anything else, at least until he have bought something. Although their wares seem to be of questionable quality and origin, and some of them have like name tags on them that is badly removed. Their wares are very cheap. It's nothing like jewelry or the like. It's all.
So Zacharias will engage in speculative haggling, but by this haggling saying, yes, I guess it would look rather good. But tell me, trying to sort of lead the conversation as he's haggling with these people. He will be prepared to spend, I don't know, 5 gold or something.
Yeah, sure. I mean, anything would probably get these people's mouth running very quickly.
Yeah.
Like a waterfall, which, 5 gold might even be too much.
All right, 1 gold. We start with 1 gold.
You might just get overwhelmed by information. But, yeah, you can roll a d20 each. Let's see what you figure out.
D20?
A bit of moving about.
God damn it, Jake.
Baha! Oh no, Tina's gonna get.
Let's start with the lowest
Nothing.
number.
Yeah.
She is mauled by 600
You
minutes.
tell me, I'm not looking at the chat. Who got the lowest number?
1.
Fine.
Tina got a
Me,
1.
I got a 1.
All right, walking around there, the people following her, she will generally hear a lot of actually sort of wailing. It seems that some poor people, they're sort of sitting there. They seem to have a lot of scars, and they're slightly shaking, sort of huddled up in a little bunch, wearing ragged clothes. Might have a substance abuse problem, some of them. Are looking sort of very afraid and looking at the sky. One of them says, I can't take it. We're going to die here. I tell you, he's coming. They're all coming. They're trying to do nothing. They don't care about us. Another one says, I heard. They've abandoned us, man. The king is not going to do anything to stop them. We're all going to be eaten. We've got to get out of the city. It's only a matter of time. And they basically seem to be talking very ilkily about the fact that there has been no sight of any soldiers reinforcing the city. They apparently think that the king has abandoned them.
What happened to those guys that followed her?
Oh, they're still hanging around, waiting for a good opportunity.
Am I gonna get an opportunity to show them a lesson?
Maybe. They haven't done anything yet.
Okay.
Those guys wish to bait them.
It's like, oh, I am
stumbling
it's
into an
like-
alley.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, all the money I'm carrying is weighing me down. I'm so tired.
I must rest in this alleyway with no one around.
Exactly.
I really hope no one
easily
follows
find
me
a
in
place
here.
that would be horrendously dangerous to go. And
For a
do
normal
that.
person.
I mean, technically, couldn't she just duck around the corner and hide and never be seen again?
She can certainly disappear, yes. But does she want to?
I kind of want to do an angel trick on them. Just make my wings look like angel wings. Just spread them wide and use fairy light. So it's like she looks like a freaking saint.
Yeah, you're like the patron saint of poor people or something, and they have like
Yeah.
you're damning them to hell for eternity.
Who's the next one?
Oh, am I not gonna get to do
That's Zacharias with a
Alright.
4.
With a 4. All right. Zacharias, we'll have one of the men say, this brooch would be perfect to wear for you to wear at the festival. Yes, you're gonna stay for the festival, right? Festival.
Zacharias will quirk an eyebrow.
You need a brooch.
The
It's
festival, you
fine
say?
brooch. It's clean. Yes, the festival of Iris. It's a dangerous story, I tell you. That's
Oh,
almost a century ago, the beautiful princess Iris of Gaston vanished without a trace. To this day, they say, the Duke offers one favor to the man who has proof of his fate. Every year many try, they're all shown away as none have what it takes to prove they know of her fate. He whips his hand out. But this brooch might convince them otherwise.
Zacharias, plays with him and like nods very. I see, I see. So tell me then, what kind of claimant has been to this favor for Iris's the information of her demise? What kind of claimants have? What would it take?
A century ago, they have begotten fewer, and the current Duke doesn't seem to care much for it. It is a formality now. It was written in law that this was to continue until her whereabouts were found.
Mm-hmm. What would it take to ascertain her fate? What kind of proof would the Duke accept, do you think? Clearly this brooch is needed, but what else?
This very brooch, I tell you. Now, you will take this, and then perhaps, he looks at himself, I am a humble servant, but I will lend you this, and you will pay me 50 gold pieces. So yes, 50 gold pieces. And then I will lend you that so you can go and reclaim the treasure. That is given, of course, for her return at the festival. So, yes. You just find me here afterwards and return it. And maybe you would remember me when you have the money.
Zacharias seems to consider this and, slowly begins to try to extricate himself from this conversation and this brooch buying business. But he will throw like a gold to the man for the information at least.
Oh, sure, he'll throw the brooch at him.
I was like, God, take it!
Have it for gold. It has someone called MK written on it and such.
Oh, wow, isn't that nice? Zacharias will pocket the brooch. So he say, so it was a long time ago she disappeared, you said, 100 years.
Yes, 100 years.
He nods. Well, I thank you. I might return for more brooches. He moves a hand.
Oh, please do, sir. You're a pleasure to the eye.
He moves away, nodding to himself and mumbling, I like that man.
The man if Zacharias can do a decent perception check, which I think he can,
yes.
then he will hear sort of the guy sort of snickers, this fool, as he leaves, having the one gold earned.
Is that decent enough?
Yes, he can definitely hear that easily.
Yeah.
You also hear the conversation next door.
The man seems very happy about his one gold. So running for a couple of days.
Zacharias smiles. He looks at the brooch and tries to appraise it just for the fun of it. It's actually worth like 10,000.
Appraisal.
Well, let's take a look at the price.
It seems to be made of thin brass with the name tag. I mean, the metals in it would be worth almost nothing. I mean, it is. I mean, it's
is it good crap?
It's actually the princess's brooch.
Or is it just crap?
It's pretty plain.
Yeah.
It basically is a fancy name tag for someone.
Okay.
Don't really know where it was. Probably some sort of. I mean, it could really come from anywhere. Might have ripped it off a door or something and furnished it.
But yeah, Zacharias will walk around after that and sort of make his way back to the crossing in deep thought because he has realized some things from what the man said. Some very interesting things.
What's the next highest one?
11.
With an 11.
11? Alright. Kyron. We'll hear one of the other men come in, sort of saying, "See what I got!" He smiles, waving what seems to be a piece of paper around. The others sort of look at him and say, "Oh, what is it? Something owing us some money?" And he says, "Yes, I just got a discount to Murder's magnificent magical menagerie." Well, the others look a bit confused. "He sells magical items, and this will give me a 50% off." Looking at the others. 50%? Do you know what that means? I sell this to some idiot, And he can then go spend thousands of gold buying a magical boat or something. Strux. Look at him and says, I sure can find one to sell that to. Who'd want to buy magical things? Who has that sort of money?
Well, at this, Kyron would definitely perk up and make a gesture for the man to come closer to his table where he's eating right now.
Looks like Kyron walks over there. So, what do you want? I don't think I've seen you before in here.
Yes, I would have been
Strong.
surprised if you did. First of all, I'm not stupid, but I am quite interested. How did you obtain such a discount paper thing?
'Cause I want it.
And how do I know that it
Dice.
actually gives me a discount? It might just be a piece of paper.
Takes it out and says, it's magical.
Is it magical?
Does Kyron have a way of sensing it?
Kyron has to check magic.
It seems to have a faint magical aura.
Huh. So how much would you want for this piece of paper?
Well, if you've got that kind of money, how about 100 gold pieces? Kyron?
How
Get that money.
about 50 and I don't kill you?
Could you have an intelligence check with that?
Of course.
The man nods and says, well, that might be fair. Could you also give a round to the boys?
Sure. I feel generous today.
A round to the boys then, and 50 gold pieces. So he hands Kyron the paper. Looks at me. You look like a dangerous person.
Well, yes, I am.
Perhaps I have a thing for you then, if you're interested in some work.
A thing?
You don't mind animals, do you?
In what way?